Damian Lillard is the embodiment of loyalty. Day in and day out, for over a decade, the man has laced up his kicks and stepped out onto the hardwood floor and competed at the highest level. The game winner against Houston. The bad shot against OKC. The 71-point game. You know, it's not a stretch to say that the man has carried the entire organization since he was first drafted in 2012. And despite the, pardon my language, but despite the lousy job that the Trailblazers have done to surround him with a championship quality supporting cast, the man has said nothing but the best when it came to the organization. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. Well, the 2024 season is now upon us. Lillard is now 33 years old and is in the twilight years of his career. For once in his life, he wants a true chance of winning it all. He wants a true shot at being the last team standing. He wants a friggin' ring. Well, unfortunately for the superstar point guard, it seems his loyalty points didn't amount to much. As of today, things have gotten really awkward with this whole trade situation, and Lillard might end up hating the Portland Trailblazers for this. Prior to the 2023 NBA draft, Lillard pretty much placed an ultimatum onto the Trailblazers. Either they trade their number 3 pick for a veteran star player who can come in and help them win immediately, or he's going to request a trade. Well, lo and behold, the Trailblazers once again failed to put a championship quality team around Lillard and drafted Scoot Henderson and Chris Murray with full intentions of developing them. To be honest, I don't blame them for drafting these players. Scoot Henderson is a generational talent, and if Chris could turn out to be anything like his brother Keegan, then that's a complete steal, and the organization could be well on its way to becoming a legit team in a few short years. At the same time, however, for 2024 at least, 2 really good rookies aren't going to make the Trailblazers anything more than a play-in tournament at best. And once again, like it has been for year after year after year, Lillard is going to be playing without another All-NBA caliber player on his team, and doesn't stand a ghost of a chance when it comes to winning a championship. So it makes sense that he wants to leave. Well, here's the first part of the problem. Lillard's agent stated that he wants to play in Miami, period. And he also warned other teams against trading for Lillard because, according to him, for any other organization except Miami, trading for Lillard is trading for an unhappy player. So, about the Miami trade. I'll be the first to admit, Damian Lillard teaming up with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo would be a team to reckon with. The Heat have gone to the finals twice by riding on Tatum's father's shoulders alone, and by adding arguably the best point guard in the league, not named Steph Curry, into the mix, they'd instantly become true championship contenders. I mean, not only is Lillard a high-caliber player, but his position would fit well with Butler and Adebayo. And if healthy, I have them as a lock to reach at least the NBA Finals. Yeah, I said it. If Dame Time gets traded to the Heat, then the ones wearing green, aka the ones who can't dribble left, will no longer be the favorites to come out of the East. Now, the only issue with this whole trade is that the Portland Trailblazers are being what they've always been. Bad, horrible, or whatever other negative adjectives you want to use. Like, they're being very stingy and are literally asking for a king's ransom for the 33-year-old. You see, the Heat first offered up Tyler Herro and 3 first-round picks for Lillard, but the Trailblazers rejected that. They wanted 2 serviceable players and 4 first-round picks. Well, the Heat tried to meet them halfway by adding in a sharpshooting Duncan Robinson, but still, the Trailblazers wanted more and have once again said to Pat Riley and the Miami Heat, "Make us your best offer." You'd think that with all the years of loyalty that Dame Time provided the Trailblazers, that the least they can do is end this miserable situation for Lillard and let him go forward with his dreams of winning a championship, while they, on the other hand, can rebuild with Scoot Henderson. But no, they want to keep going on with this. They want to prolong the situation. But who can blame them? This is the first time they've been relevant in years. As of today, it's already been over a month since Lillard requested the trade, and nothing substantial has materialized. the Trailblazers are not doing anything. In fact, they haven't really done anything in the past decade. Because look, no offense to CJ McCollum, but the Portland Trailblazers haven't paired up Damian Lillard with a single other All-Star since LaMarcus Aldridge in 2015, which was what, 8 years ago? CJ and Nurkic have pretty much been the second and third best players he's played with for a long time, and then came Anthony Simmons and Jeremy Grant, but let's be honest, these are all B-level players at best. None of them are really at that all-NBA level that Lillard needs to really give Portland a true chance at winning it all. It'd be an entirely different story if Lillard was like Giannis, a top 5 player, but as a top 15-ish player in the league, you need at least 1 or 2 other all-NBA talents to help you take it all the way. Anyway, let's get back to 2024. Portland clearly has no intention of creating a roster around Lillard, and here's where things get even worse. Remember when Lillard's agent said, trading for Lillard is trading for an unhappy player? Well, it turns out that the NBA is tired of players taking control and exploiting them, so for once in a long time, they put their foot down and said, "We have advised Goodwin and Lillard that any future comments made privately to teams or publicly suggesting Lillard will not fully perform the services called for under his player contract in the event of a trade will subject Lillard to discipline by the NBA. We have also advised the Players Association that any similar comments by players or their agents will be subject to discipline going forward." This is actually a good thing that the NBA is finally doing something about incidents like these, because far too often in recent years, whether it was Kyrie's agent saying that he would retire if he was traded, or James Harden showing up overweight, or Ben Simmons doing what Ben Simmons does, players have been really exploiting teams, and I'm glad that the league is finally cracking down on it. But at the same time, it must be frustrating for Lillard that it's happening to him, because as we all know, this man has a 0 track record of doing anything bad when it comes to tarnishing the image of the league. Like, there's a reason why he was selected to be one of the top 75 players of all time. And again, the only reason his agent stated such a thing comes back to Portland's front office, and their utter refusal of letting Lillard go without receiving a king's ransom. I mean, they're on a rebuild, so it's not like they're going to be winning anytime soon anyway. At the very moment, they're trying to get a third team on the action to make things work, but nothing concrete is happening. It's all just talk at the moment, and according to insiders and Shams Charania of The Athletic, there's no real traction. What's even worse for Lillard is, after this huge debacle, he might not even get traded to the Heat. In fact, some reports even have him getting traded to a team like the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, that's right, the Detroit Pistons. Imagine being loyal to an organization for over a decade, being their best franchise player in history, and then getting traded to the worst team in the East. It must be even worse for Lillard knowing that the other journeyman superstars got what they wanted. I mean, Kevin Durant was able to go to one of the best teams in the West. James Harden got to play with the 2023 MVP. Chris Paul got to play with the Warriors. And yet, Portland isn't cooperating at all with Lillard, because truth be told, Miami already offered them something good. Anyway, the clock is ticking for Dame time. We're in the 4th quarter, and in the blink of an eye, preseason is going to start. And then from there, what's next for the electrifying guard? Fade away into the history books while being a mentor to Scoot Henderson? Playing his heart out for a year, only to land in a play-in position and getting eliminated before the playoffs start? Or getting traded to the Detroit Pistons? One thing is for certain though, this whole situation is turning ugly. Lillard isn't liking any of this, and at the very end, especially if he gets traded to a non-contending team like Detroit, he's really gonna hate the Portland Trailblazers for all of this. If that's the case, then this has got to be one of the top cases of loyalty gone wrong in the NBA.